By wearing a puffy vest, a beefalo hat, and having a beard at full length, Wilson can have the highest insulation of any character in the game at a staggering 615. Don't Starve Together has a total of 36 different crafting tabs, whereas the original Don't Starve has a measly total of only 19. Willow's previous perk before the strange new powers update was the ability to light fires at her feet whenever she's engulfed in darkness. This was then reworked to how she lights fires now, which happens whenever she's low on sanity. This is actually pretty neat considering she regains sanity whenever there's fire nearby, so I guess it makes sense. Poison birchnut trees only required 16 hits with an axe to defeat in Don't Starve. However, in Don't Starve Together, the number increased from 16 to 18. My guess as to why its number of hits needed to fall when these things increased between the two games is that since all the other mobs had their respective health stats increased for Don't Starve Together, they decided to increase the number of axe hits since poison birchnuts don't directly take damage in the typical sense. Wolfgang is the character with both the highest and lowest damage output in the entire game. This is because when mighty and using a dark sword, he deals a staggering 136 damage per hit. But on the flip side, if Wolfgang is wimpy and using a fishing rod or bug net, he only deals 2.125 damage per hit. Wow. Wendy, my main, actually enjoys art. This can be seen with her quote for the feather pencil item, where she says, "Maybe I'll doodle something when nobody's looking." If WX78 dies from wetness or rain, their death in the little console will be considered a short circuit. During the day, every 30 seconds when the clock goes to a new segment, it does a small little animation. The Triple McTusk camp is actually a biome, not a set piece, and it has a 50% chance of generating when creating a world. If WX78 gets at least 95 on the wetness meter while using the cold circuit, it resets wetness and drops 2 ice. Watering withered crops and plants actually has a small chance of unwithering them. Pighead eyes light up on full moons and drop nightmare fuel during this time. This is probably because of the whole were-pig thing, although that part I'm not too sure. The only monsters capable of being stun-locked, and therefore can be killed exclusively by holding F, are bees, killer bees, and normal spiders. Ice actually lowers player temperatures by 40 degrees when eaten. This makes it decently handy to keep during summer, however the effect only lasts 7.5 seconds, so you might need to bring a few for it to actually be useful. Speaking of ice, unlike other foods with the tags stale and spoiled when near the end of its lifetime, ice has the unique tags of melting and melted. If a poison birchnut or a tree guard is aggro at you, you're able to quickly pacify them by planting pine cones or birchnuts nearby. This can be pretty useful if you're for some reason uncomfortable with killing them. The fact that battalists spawn less from sinkholes when in winter is due to the fact that bats themselves tend to hibernate during winter in real life. There is a rose on the back of the Shadow coverall, which represents Charlie's alignment with whoever wears it. Gobblers are not picky eaters at all. In fact, they're so dead set on eating food that they'll eat redcaps. If they so manage to eat 3 redcaps in a row, they will take 60 damage and, well, die. In the game files, there's a line of text put under Wonky's directory in the skin shop that says, "No Wonky skin packs? Yet? Maybe one day?" Wagstaff used to be a snake oil salesman. This can be found out when inspecting, well, snake oil, as Wagstaff himself, where he says, "Ah, I made a fortune selling such concoctions in my youth." Petals, yes, petals, can deal 34 damage with the use of Wheeler's Pneumatic Horn. Seems a little OP, no? I'm going to rip this one straight from the wiki since as of me writing this, it's like 3 AM and I can't be bothered to paraphrase. Okay, fair enough. And the Mad Lab shoes were only added on August 31st, 2022, despite the fact that the full set became available a few years earlier. Those who bought any of the skin sets that included the Wilson's Mad Scientist skin also received a red chest with the Mad Lab shoes upon entering the game. The chest appeared before the player could open the daily gift, and Mad Lab shoes were added in the update 520864. Wow, very cool. The Yuletide frog's description, a dashing frog for dashing through the snow, is a reference to the song Jingle Bells. How Christmassy. Crows are not actually native to the continent, as revealed when Maxwell inspects one and he says that he doesn't know how they got here. However, we as viewers actually do know how they got here, as when watching Wes's character short, he can be seen being pulled into the continent along with 2 other crows. Don't Starve as a game is actually 3-dimensional, however the 3rd dimension can only be accessed by birds whenever they fly away. And lastly, whenever attacking, Wilson's usual war cry is go for the eyes. However, when fighting the Eye of Terror specifically, it changes to go for the eye, since it's just one eye. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. This is a little bit late because I've been working on a lot of other stuff, and I had exams to do, which kind of sucks. Anyways, I went back and I actually listened through all of the past entries. I do not sound happy at all when recording these. In fact, that's probably the most dead I think I've sounded ever. Like, all video essays before that, I sounded pretty good. Not even video essays. All scripted videos before that, I sounded like a tiny little semblance of happiness. But ever since episode 1 of Useless Don't Starve Facts, I've been sounding dead, and I really had to fix that, so yeah. Anyways, huge thanks to ZapTrap4802 for the clock fact, the triple Mactusk biome fact, oh, and the watering can unwither plants fact, and huge thanks to Higbig1 for the pig heads lighting up and dropping nightmare fuel facts. So, if you guys would like your facts to be featured in a video, make sure to leave a comment below, and I will list your name out at the end. Anyways, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. See ya!